All right, here we go. Today we have former welterweight champion Victor Ortiz, who is best known for his highly controversial loss to Floyd Mayweather back in 2011. Welcome to VladTV.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, it's your first time here. I want to start in the very beginning.
Yep.
So you grew up in Kansas?
Born and raised, yes, sir.
Okay, and how many kids total was it?
My dad's side by himself, he's got 23, I believe.
Wait. Your dad has 23
on his own
kids.
Yes, so I'm Victor number 5. Victor Ortiz number 5.
Wait. There's 5 Victors?
Yes. I'm the youngest of the Victors. Yeah.
And you're not even technically Victor the second because you named that after your father. So there's 5 Victors.
Yep.
So if y'all hanging out, he goes, "Hey, Victor!" Like all 5 of you'll just turn around.
we know each other now throughout the years, but we don't really know each other like that. So we've never actually been at the same table together.
Okay.
I met them all individually nowadays. Like, hey, what's going on, bro, Victor? You know, and they're really nice guys, very successful as well. Marines. They're just mathematicians, teachers. It's crazy, but we all have our way, you know?
Well, did he know that all the kids were going to be named Victor, or did the moms name them without him knowing?
That guy did that, man.
That was his idea?
Yeah, that was my father's idea, I guess. Huh. He made us, all of us, and he left us. But I grew up with my brother, Temo, and my sister, Carmen. That was until foster homes and stuff like that. Well, they left us when I was 7. My mom left when I was 7. My dad left when I was 12.
Yeah.
He was always out driving semis and whatnot. And yeah, started a whole new journey.
Okay, so at 7 years old, your mom leaves the family.
Yeah.
To marry another man?
I don't know what took place. I didn't, there was never no nothing. It was just, we went to school, came home to an empty household. Everything was packed, gone, and I never saw the lady again until I was 24 years old.
That's a very much of a rarity.
Yeah.
When it just comes to mothers in general. Dads, you know, mother's baby, daddy's maybe, like you hear that a lot, but the mom will usually stick it out with the kids no matter what.
Yeah, you know what though? At the end of the day, I believe throughout what I've been through the years, what I've had to learn and whatnot, I don't blame her. To a sense, I don't. Because
of your dad?
No, I don't know him like that. But I can only imagine what she had to endure with this man. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I couldn't do that to my children. I have 3 boys now, and nope.
Well, right, because you could have a bad situation with your husband or child's father or whatever else. You could be abusive and so forth, but usually the woman will leave with the kids. They rarely leave the kids behind. That you hardly ever hear.
Yeah, that's a little interesting, right?
Yeah. I've hardly ever heard that. I've only heard that a couple times in my life. Did that really mess you up, knowing that your mother is now gone?
Well, I was a little boy. It messed with me a lot. I didn't realize that it was her absence that really drove me. Because I remember she would always yell at my sister, and you'll never be anything in life. You're going to end up having children young and this and that. And my sister did just that. She went off, got pregnant at 13, delivered at 14. She started her life, and it was just ugly. And I just wanted to break that cycle. And I said, man, they don't believe in me. They don't need to. They could watch me. And by the graces of God, I found a gentleman named Mr. Bucky Avila. And Bucky taught me how to box.
Well, right, because I guess you got beat up at school one day?
Yep.
And then your dad took you to a boxing.
He made me go to the boxing.
Right, you didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And the gloves are so big, they come up to here to me. And I'm in there not even know how to do this or whatever. And he goes, makes me spar, and I'm getting whipped on from corner to corner, crying, and I have blood in my lips and my nose. And I get out of the ring, and as I'm crying, he grabs my arm like a piñata, takes off his belt, and starts hitting me once. On the second one down, Bucky grabs his arm and says, "Leave that boy alone. You leave that boy alone." So when he comes in, he says, "You can have that piece of, he ain't nothing. He'll never be nothing." So he left me right there with may he rest in peace, the older gentleman, Ignacio Avila. We called him Bucky. And Bucky says, "My boy, I'm going to teach you how to box." And I said, "I don't want to learn. I don't like it. It hurts." He says, "No. You give me 1 month, but you do as I say, and you're going to have that boy right there crying like he had you crying today." As I'm crying, I looked up like, "Really?" Okay. So I did exactly as he told me for that whole month. Said and done. A month later, I'm making this boy and just hitting him, boom, boom, 1-2s down the pipe. And I'm like, all right. It was fun. And I started noticing that the more I hurt people in the ring as boxing, people loved me. It was a false love, but it was something I'd been searching for since I was a youngster. Love. Just people to, Victor Ortiz, oh my gosh, oh my God. And I was infatuated with just being loved, recognized, looked at, you know?
Okay, so now you're starting to train as a boxer.
Yep.
But you're still living with your dad.
Nah, yes, for another 3 years. From 12, 13, 14, 15, I was with my dad in and out because he'd get in his semi, go for a month, 2, 3, come back. But I was with my boys, Brandon Carmichael, Kyle Brown, Diego Lazarin. We're always together. They're my brothers. So, I mean, that's my family that I initially got to make. They let me use their clothing, shoes. Their moms would feed me. And even till the day, we still keep in contact. They're some of my best of friends.
Right. And your sister is helping to raise you as well.
Yes.
But she has a baby.
Yes,
also.
But until she ended up moving to Denver, Colorado.
Huh.
And that year, I told my sister, I thought you said you never leave us. You never leave me. She says, well, Junior, I got to go. And I said, that's not cool. She says, I'm going to get custody of you. And I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I put pressure on her, and she did. She fought for custody of me through my foster parents, John and Sharon Ford. My mom, Sharon, was like, you're not going anywhere. And I was like, Mom, I don't got nothing. This clothes is all I got.
So you're still communicating with your mom?
No, my foster mom.
Your foster mom?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Sharon.
Right, because you were put in foster care because your dad wasn't around.
Yep.
I hear a lot of horror stories about foster care, especially.
No.
No?
This is no. This is like Sharon, John, Leslie, Kelly, Katie, and JJ, and they were beautiful.
Okay.
They treated me.
You got lucky then.
Yeah, you know, they love me. If anything, I was kind of like the guy that just stayed away. You know, I didn't really like to be around people. If I was out running in some field somewhere in Garden City, Kansas, or working on a farm somewhere, I'd just be away. I just with Bucky somewhere, or Bucky would be doing the whole Mr. Miyagi thing, where he'd be like, Junior, you're gonna scrape off the paint off this side of the house, and with this other side, with this roller, you're gonna start painting. And I'm like, oh man, all right, Bucky. And then after a long day of work, I'd go, good job, Junior. Here, I got you something. It'd be a Sonic snow cone for free. I'm like, come on, Bucky. Oh, thank you, Bucky. You shouldn't have. You know, but it was good.
So then at 16, you get discovered by former heavyweight contender Ron Lyle.
Absolutely. By this point in time, though, my sister stuck to her guns and she got custody of me.
Yeah, so you're living in Denver?
She got me out of Sharon and John Ford's custody, took me to Denver, Colorado. Next thing you know, I didn't know of any boxing gyms around, especially not a free one. So I remember my sister would go to work, and she had 2 jobs. I worked for landscaping, and I went to school. So when I was free, I'd go pick up my nephew, and he was a baby, you know. So everybody thought I had a baby. So I'd be everywhere with this baby in his bassinet, just carrying him everywhere. I found a gym at the Salvation Army in Denver, Colorado. I walked in there, and I just remember I'm watching this gentleman just always, you know, he's just in there doing his thing, teaching kids. But I'd stay quiet, and I'd grab my little dude, and I'd put him down. I'd give him his binky, put my hand wraps on. I'd be hitting for 1 hour, 2 hours, speed bags. And the moment I'd try to stop, Isaac would be like, ah, and I'd start hitting again. So he'd stop crying. So next thing you know, I'd get my 2.5 hours in. I'd grab him. I'd leave. About a month and a half, maybe 2 of that. He says, hey, kid, can I have a word with you? I said, yes, sir. He says, I see you come in those doors every day. You don't bother no one. You don't say nothing to nobody. He goes, you put on hand wraps that you found? I was like, yes, sir. He says, what do you want to do in this life? And I go, I'm going to be world champion, sir. You think so? Yes, sir, I know so. Oh, wow. You're a little cocky, aren't you? I go, no, sir, just very confident. He says, and I see you have a son. I go, oh, no, sir, no. That's my nephew. That's Isaac. And, you know, his mama works, my sister works, so I pick him up after I get out of school or work on the day of, and I just come here, sir. Where do you live? Down over by kind of Commerce by the Dave and Buster's. My golly, you're about 3-4 miles out. I'm like, yes, sir. It's okay. You do that every day? Yes, sir. Wow. He goes, you know who I am? I said, you're a boxing coach, sir. But you don't know who I am? I was like, you run the gym. You're probably the owner. I'm not sure, Mr. Ron Lyle. Mr. Ron? And he goes, well, I'm Ron Lyle. I was like, yes, Coach Ron Lyle. Yes, sir. I know I didn't know your full name, but I knew of you because they talk about you. He says, well, put it this way, kid. If I could come out of prison and be on top of the lights, there's no way that you, having nothing, can do that and some. And I looked at him and I said, whoa. Because Bucky had just told me that before I left Kansas. Junior, one day you'll be above the lights. I may not be here to see it, Junior, but just keep working hard, okay? But you do have a responsibility to always respect one, respect everybody, give them the time of day, Junior. Yes, sir. But I didn't realize what he meant. And then Mr. Ron Lyle, may he rest in peace as well, he said the same thing to me, but he prepared me to get ready for the Junior Olympics and all the craziness. He didn't go with me to the Junior Olympics, but he was always teaching me how to strike correctly, how to move correctly. And he had a chip on his shoulder, I'll tell you. You know what, Vic? You know what? What's that, Mr. Ron? Just call me Ron. Call me Ron. Coach Ron. Yes, sir. I can't stand that mother. Who are we talking about? Coach Ron? Muhammad Ali. Wait, what? What are you talking about? I'm one of the greatest, Victor. I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. They done robbed me 15 rounds this month. Man, I put it on him, Vic.
Oh, because he fought Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Ah, that's who he lost to.
I thought he was joking because I was running on a treadmill one day and I'm like, ESPN Classics now. Whoa! I ran out there and I go, yo, Coach Ron, you're on TV right now. He's like, man, I can't stand watching that fight, Vic. I cannot stand what they did to me. I said, whoa, wow. So I got to witness greatness in front of me, you know, as a youngster. But he said, now, Vic, you know, I ended up in some troubles. I was in prison. You know, they said I pushed my girl off the balcony. I don't remember exactly, but something along those lines. He goes, Vic, I had to do time. He goes, but I came out of prison and I became one of the greats, Vic. He goes, there's no way we can't see you do the same. He goes, you have a whole future ahead of you, baby. He goes, you only ain't had babies. I thought that was your son this whole time. I was like, no, sir. He goes, man, you be hitting and you be hitting hard, Vic. And I see you stop in the middle of hitting. You give his binky to him and he goes right back to work, Vic. And I, yes, sir. Would you like to spar sometime? Yes, sir. You line him up. I knock him down. Is that right? Yes, sir. Oh, you brought me a lot of nice work. And man, I don't think saying names right now would be appropriate because I put it on a lot of people. I was 15, going on 16 now. Yeah. And yeah.
Okay, so after training with him, you actually go to the Junior Olympics and you win in the 132-pound division.
Yes, sir.
5-0. And that's when you met Robert Garcia.
Yes, that was the year. I was a gold medalist.
That was a big-time trainer.
Yes, he's a big-time trainer. I was his experiment rat, I believe, in the beginning because he wasn't fully a boxing coach just yet. His dad was, Mr. Eduardo Garcia, was passing down the torch, per se, still. Because he had Fernando Vargas, he had a lot of big fighters, you know. So then Robert finds me while I win the gold medal. He says to me at the time, hey, kid, I've been seeing you fight. You know, how much do you get paid? And I go, what are you talking about? Because now Mr. Ron Lyle couldn't come with me to the Junior Olympics because he has to run the Salvation Army gym. So I went out there representing by myself. And I remember they were like, hey, kid, we can't work with you. And I said, oh, no problem. What do you mean? Yeah, the regional coaches, they can't work with you. They have their own team set. It's okay. I said, anybody you got at 132, that's my slot. So whether you coach me or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm taking home the victory. I'm taking the gold medal home. So it doesn't matter. You should probably tell them to go home now. to save him some embarrassment. Whatever you need to do. So they're like, this cocky little, you know, I was broke, no mom, no dad. Now I'm in the nationals by myself. I asked the gentleman and to give me water at least, or don't need to tell me no directions, nothing. I'm gonna win the gold medal. Just give me water. And the first fight goes on, boom, I win unanimously. Second fight goes on, boom, knockout. Another fight, knockout, boom, unanimous. Next thing you know, Team Colorado is like, yeah, man, that's our champ right there, man. He's gonna be the greatest. This and I'm like, I'm here by myself.
Yeah.
All right, I guess so. Hey, so how long y'all been training together for? I'm like, how long ago did we meet? But next thing you know, I'm the gold medalist, and now I'm being claimed. But I just remember being asked to carry the United States of America flag into the ring. And of course I did. It's, oh man, land of the brave, man. So I went in there by myself, and I just remember calling Bucky as I'm crying, and Bucky says, my boy, I told you were gonna do it. And it's just the beginning, Junior.
Yeah.
And yes, sir, Bucky, thank you. He says, you keep on working. And Ron Lyle, of course, that's right, baby, what I tell you. See? And that's just the beginning, Vic.
Yep.
Now, when you get back over here, we got to hit some miles on the Rocky Mountains. And I'm just like, oh, man, I know. Mother Cabrini waiting for you. Yes, sir. And Mother Cabrini is it's about a 4, 5, 6 mile just run up. And it's whew. All right, Vic, I'm going to be timing you. Yes, sir. Can't go against that, you know?
Okay, so you start to train with Garcia, and you actually move to Oxnard,
well,
California.
Correction. So he, while in the national, says to me, hey, the whole pay thing. I said, why do you ask me that for? He says, because, man, what do you mean? Like, no one pays you? I go, no, sir, I'm here by myself. My coach had to stay back because he runs the Salvation Army, Ron Lyle. He's like, oh, wow. He goes, you know, I'm the IBF champion of the world. I said, no way, you are? That's amazing. He goes, yeah, I'm from Oxnard, California. I said, I've never heard of that place. I just knocked out a guy from Oxnard the other night. He says, yeah, no, he's not our team, but I know who you're talking about. I was like, yeah, I just knocked him out. He goes, yeah. I said, he kept saying he's from Fernando Vargas' boxing gym, so I had to knock him out. He's like, I said, I'm a big Fernando Vargas fan. I love Fernando Vargas. I have a picture on my binder of him. No way. Well, I'm from La Colonia. I go, you're from La Colonia? I never heard of Oxnard in my life, but I've heard of La Colonia Boxing Gym. Not Oxnard. Never, ever did I hear of a place called Oxnard, but I heard of La Colonia. So now I go, dude, wait a minute. Robert Garcia, you know Fernando Vargas? I was so impressed he knew Fernando Vargas that it was like a little kid, like a dream come true, you know? Because, wow, how do you know Fernando Vargas? Like, wow, you guys grew up together? No way. So now he's telling me the spew of things, and he goes, so if you're here by yourself, how about this? Stick around for the Worlds. Can you do that for me? I said, I can't. I have to go home. I have to go back to work. What do you mean? I said, I work, man. I have 2 jobs, and I go to school. But it's summer. It's almost the end of summer, so I got to go home. I got to take care of my sister's kid. Oh, you have kids? No, sir. No, my sister needs help. So while she's working, I take my little nephew, but I work myself. I could take him to my job because I'm a landscaper, and you know, everything else is just, it's easier that way. So wait a minute. So you don't have kids? No, sir, I don't. Okay, then when can you come to California? And I said, well, you're not listening to me. I don't have kids, but I have a responsibility, and that's to help my sister. And she has a son, and he's in diapers, bro. So he's like my son too. He's like, oh, wow. Well, so what do you want to do in this life of yours? And I go, well, I'm going to be world champion. I don't know when, but I'm going to do it. He says, how about this? Give me 1 week. I'm going to go to California. I'm going to talk to some people out there. I'm going to try to see if I could position you correctly and help you some way, get you paid. I go, no way. He goes, but I do need something from you. What's that? If I were to tell you that I'd get you paid to make a career in boxing in California, but I need you in California, what would you say? I said, well, just, I don't have money, so maybe a plane ticket, that would work, or a train, taxi, I don't know, bro. He goes, really? Yeah. He goes, I need some kind of custody. I said, yeah, I can emancipate myself somehow. I'll figure it out. He goes, really? I was like, yeah. Just send me a plane ticket and I'll see you. Or whatever. Whoa, so then I go to Kansas. I go to Denver first. And then I go to Kansas, get some paperwork and whatnot. So now I go back to my sister. And I go, sis, I got some good news. She goes, I'm so proud of you, so happy that you won the nationals. Oh my gosh, you're the gold medalist. I was like, that's right, sis. I go, but there's something way crazier than that now. What? I go, I'm leaving. What do you mean you're leaving? I said, here, you just got to sign right here, 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 here. And that's it.
Right, because she's your guardian at that point, yeah.
What the f are you talking about? She's crying. Sis, look at me. I don't got nothing. This is all I have. And sis, now I have a boxing backpack that has USA boxing gear, sis. I said, please, sis, think about it. Don't take the wind out of my sails, sis. Please. I said, look, I ain't got nothing. Just sign this paperwork. For what? Because I told this gentleman that I would see him in California. You don't even know this mother. I go, it's okay. I get to California and they do me wrong and dirty. So be it. Guess what? Now I can hitchhike a ride back home. I said, don't worry about me. You're not my mom, sis. You're my sister. But I promise you, you sign this paperwork right now. In 2 years, I'll be a pro and I'll come back and I'll have you right there ringside. I promise you. Well, she's crying her eyeballs out, man. She's crying. I don't even know what the hell's wrong with you. Oh, there's a lot wrong with me, sis. So she signs the paperwork. I felt like, you remember Yogi the Bear where he's got the stick and then he's got the little stuff in the back, like finally taking off?
That was you.
So that's how I felt, man. So I had 1 pair of jeans and 3 t-shirts.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and then I had my USA gear, which was amazing to me, you know. So anyways, now I'm in an airplane and I just remember my buddy had gave me a letter before I left. He cried. His name's Rick Lopez. And he goes, Vic, what are you doing, man? I said, there's a lot of things I don't know what I'm doing, Rick. I said, I don't know. Please don't ask me. I said, I'm just chasing a dream, brother. I said, and you know what? If I come short of that dream, not a big deal. I'll figure it out, brother. He goes, so he gives me this letter. He goes, don't open it till you get in the airplane, bro. I was like, okay. So I'm in the airplane now. And I remember I had no money because I got paid $800 for landscaping. And then I got another $400 for my part-time job. So then that was my sister's rent. So I gave her an envelope and I said, I love you, sis. God bless you, okay? And I'll see you when I do. So I give her my envelope for her rent and stuff. I take off and I'm like, dang, I was so hungry. I should have at least kept like $5 or something. But then as I'm reading this letter, I just had tears just dropping, you know, like, man, wow, thank you, bro. Like, and then at the bottom, there was a $20 bill. And I just go, I still remember those days, man. So, as I'm in the airplane, though, I'm just like, man, what are you doing, dude? You're crazy, bro. What are you thinking? Why are you going to Cali? You don't know these people. They don't know you. Dude, how do you even know where you're going? Like, what? And I just said, God, I don't know what I'm doing, but I trust in you. Just protect me, Father. That's it. So now I remember, ladies and gentlemen, we were 15 minutes to our final destination. I'm looking through the windows like, oh, that's where excuse me, isn't that where they made Baywatch, right down there? That's where the Santa Monica, that's not the big pier. That's where it was a really funny movie. And then I was just like completely stuttering, and I was just in awe. And I just remember sitting back one more time like, dude, what are you doing, bro? And then I get off for the first time. I see Robert Garcia and then, Vic, Vic, what's up? And I go, oh my gosh, man. Hey, bro. Dude, thanks, brother. Wow. Crazy. He's like, all right, let's go to the luggage. Let's get all your stuff. And I go,
I'm carry on here.
got
That's
my
it.
stuff, bro. What do you mean? It's all my stuff. Where's your boxing stuff? Nah, I just borrow stuff from people. What? Yeah. Mouthpiece? That's the only thing I got, bro. And that was 99 cents at Walmart. He goes, Vic, are you serious? Yeah. So, wait, what? I go, yeah, bro, it's okay. So now he takes me and we take the PCH from LAX, and I just remember I'm like, oh my goodness, looking at things. I'm like, hey, is it just me or is it weird here? He goes, what do you mean? I said, every house is like this far apart from each other, and the businesses, it's like, don't you feel claustrophobic? He's like, what? I was like, I feel weird. I just wasn't used to it, you know? Like in Kansas, there's a farmland right there. Bob's over there. Melinda over there.
Yeah.
And over here, it's, I was just like, oh my gosh. I was getting anxiety. It wasn't adapting too well. And now he goes, don't worry, Vic. We're going to get you away from here right now. We still got to go home. And I go, well, we are home. No, this is Los Angeles. This is LA. He goes, oh no, we're in Oxnard. And I go, what's Oxnard? La Colonia. I go, oh, yeah, we've got about an hour drive. I go, oh, okay. So now it was way different from LA to Oxnard, Ventura area. But yeah, man, he gave me an opportunity of a lifetime that I will forever be grateful for, you know. He, you know, we ended up going our separate ways when I was around 19, 20-ish. I just, you know, I had to follow my dreams, you know. Some people get complacent sometimes, and I can't do that.
Well, yeah, he becomes your legal guardian.
Yep.
And then by the time you're 16, you win 8 national titles.
Yep.
And you're the youngest person ever to compete in the Olympic trials.
Yep.
But you don't win.
I know.
Was that like a crushing situation there?
It was crushing because they do this point system. You know? It's weird. And my style started becoming more like patient, boom, boom, to hurt you. It was more pro. So I ended up losing, and when I lost, I just remember, you know, I just said, no. They're like, you are the perfect candidate for 2008. And I go, you. I'm turning pro. I'm good.
Yeah.
No. 2008. I was like, no, this was my Olympic year.
Yeah.
2004 was what I was shooting for. And you know what? It's controversial because you guys already had your team chosen. You don't take the best. You take a point system. And the Olympics, that's why Cuba, that's why Russia, they have some of the best boxers in the Olympics. Because they take the best. Not because you're on a point system. Oh, he just got 100 points because he fought in Hawaii, Honolulu. Good for you. But he lost, didn't he? Oh, well, yeah, but it's the point system. No. You take the best of the best, and that's where I started saying, nah, I'm going to turn pro. 2008, I'll be crowned. They laughed at me. Well, 2008, ladies and gentlemen, the new North American champion. I was like, that's all right, here we go. So it was interesting.
So then you turn pro. You win your first 2 fights, but then you lose your third from disqualification.
Yep.
Because you hit him while he was down?
Nope. We were in an exchange, hook for hook. My hook landed flush. He went down, and I don't know, he was a new ref. We talk quite a bit sometimes still. And he's like, I messed up your career, champ. I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you took the pressure off me, actually. You gave me my first defeat. You know? After that first loss, I had no pressure. I already had my loss, whatever. You know, it was just the will that it needed to be taking, so it's okay.
Well, but then in 2007, you fight Emmanuel Clotti.
You want
And that was like the first big fight you had, right?
You know what's crazy? So I fight Emmanuel Cote from Ghana, from Africa. Good, amazing champion, good person. I get a notice about 2 weeks before the fight. Ortiz, they need you to fight in a couple weeks. Yeah, no problem. You don't want to know with who? No. What weight class? 130, 133. 133? How much are you right now? Like about 150? I need you at 133.
2 weeks.
I go, oh, sure. No problem. You don't want the guy's name? No. You don't want to study him? No. We got, what is it, 10, 12 rounds? Got 10 rounds. No, don't worry about it. I got it. All right. So now I'm working double shifts. I had custody of my brother now. I've been filing for custody of my brother because what my sister did for me, I did for my brother.
Nice.
So now I've been fighting for custody of my brother. And man, I just remember Red Bull. I worked for Red Bull. I was a merchandiser. So they gave me my weekend off. And then construction, my part-time, was like, Vic, just do it up, champ. Have a good time. Yes, sir. Thank you. Protect yourself at all times, bro. Keep those hands up. Yes, sir. Thank you. So I go down to Laughlin, Nevada. And I just remember I'm in the ring. I still don't know who I'm fighting. They didn't tell me. Or the scales, I weighed in, made my weight. I still don't know who I'm fighting. Vic, go eat. But I want to see who I'm fighting against. Don't worry about it. Just go eat. All right. Make sure he's not overweight, man. Because I made my weight. Go eat, bro. Relax. All right. I go eat. It's almost 9 p.m. So did we ever figure out who I'm fighting? Vic, they know who you're fighting. Just relax, man. You think too much. All right. I'm walking into the ring and I still don't know who I'm fighting. Now they're announcing, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Lennon Jr. It's showtime. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so cool. Coming here from the red corner, the challenger, and I'm like, challenger? What are y'all talking about? Wait, what? What? The challenger? And here on the blue corner, the reigning, defending, I'm like, oh no, oh, okay. I see what's going on. All right. So I looked at the promoters and I said, pay attention, mother. Trying to set me up. All right, I got you. Not today. So I go into the center of the ring, shake hands. Hey, champ, I love you, but you're done. Boom. I come in. Boom, boom. Pull off the victory. I was like, yeah. I was so happy. I was like, wow. I should beat the champion from Ghana, man. I was like, man, bro. I just say, Cote, I'm a big fan of yours, bro. Dang, it's crazy.
It was a TKO in the last round.
Yeah, he goes, you hit very, very hard. I go, you hit hard too. But his eyes are all messed up and he's all closed. The next morning, I'm in the elevator to go home. And I see him, he's all bruised up. Glasses on. Champ, may I get picture? Yes, brother. Come on, man. You're the champ, bro. Thank you. So we just took a big picture. Yeah.
So this was for was the welterweight?
No, this is junior welterweight.
Junior welterweight. Yeah. So now you're the junior welterweight champion.
Yeah.
Of the world.
No, I didn't. It wasn't, the titles were not on the line.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was the champion though.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Right. Because after that, ESPN named you the Boxing Prospect of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're a big deal. And didn't you spar Manny Pacquiao around that time?
Yeah.
How was Manny Pacquiao in the ring?
Oh, man, we worked so much.
Huh.
We worked so much together. Freddie Roach, I can quote him. He said that the best fights, sparring he's ever seen in his life has been me and Manny Pacquiao.
Really?
Yeah. I won't disclose what took place, but it's been great.
You saying you knocked out Manny Pacquiao?
I don't know what that means. I have amnesia.
Okay. So, by 2009, you're 22 years old. You have your first televised fight. HBO After Dark. With Mike Arnudis.
Oh, Arnudis. Yeah, he's the champion, USBA champion from Greece, Athens. Yes.
Right. He had never been knocked out before.
Yeah,
until you showed up.
I remember we were at the press conference, and I just had heard he had a baby. So I said, Mike, congratulations on your new baby, your little girl. That's a beautiful blessing you have there, man. But there's a saying in this game, it's out with the old and in with the new, bro. I said, I'm happy for what you've done in the career, but you're done for, bro. I'm the new champ. And then he goes, well, let's not forget a couple things here. Victor is good, but I am great. And I go, oh. So, all right, bro. Well, I'll see you Saturday night, man. Take care. And then it was nice. I countered him over the top left and out of it, and body, uppercut, straight, and it was over.
TKO in the second round.
Mm-hmm. Brutal.
Okay. That happens. And then there's a title fight. There's a vacant WBA light welterweight belt that's up for grabs. So they put you up against Marcos Maidana?
Yeah. That was a title fight? I didn't even know that.
Well,
now here's the thing though, and that surprises me right now that was a title fight. It does because
it was vacant at the time.
Well, check this out. So what happened was I was getting ready for the rematch with was it a rematch? No. I was getting ready for a different fight. Last minute, the guy pulls out. So they put Marcos Maidana in. And I said, this, I guess, I go, but I have my wrist is broken. I told Oscar de la Hoya, I showed him the x-rays of the 3 bones that were broken. They had to reconstruct everything, but this is, anyways. So it was all broken. And I said, hey, Oscar, we're going to have to pull off on that fight with Maidana. I said, I don't mind fighting him, but I'm completely shattered. And he says, Victor, you're funny, you're good, you're okay, you're fine. I go, but I'm not fine. I have x-rays, and the x-rays show I'm completely broken in 3 places. Oh, we'll fix it after the fight. But Oscar, I'm broken, bro. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. I go, whoa, all right. So I won't say names, but I have great friends or in the doctor fields, X, Y, and Z. They shot me up with cortisone. And they said, Vic, don't do this fight, Vic. I go, dude, I'm gonna get in trouble by Golden Boy, and I don't want that on me. I said, I'd rather not, bro. I'll just say it is what it is. The fight's here. We'll just take it. Let's go.
Right. Well, you guys both knocked each other down in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You knocked him down twice in the second round. But then you get cut in the 5th round. And after you get knocked down in the 6th round, they stop the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people accuse you of quitting in that fight.
Yeah.
How'd you feel when you had that kind of backlash?
You know what? That's where I really opened my eyes to the boxing world. And I could definitely see why, I tell Coach Aaron sometimes, I could see why Mike Tyson became so... I don't think hateful is the word. Resentful. That's why Mike Tyson, big bro, love you, became so resentful toward people. And he stopped being nice toward people because people do that. Like me, I'm nice to anybody. I don't care. You don't have to like me. People come up to you and try to shove me, try to hit me, punch me. It is what it is. I take it. I don't I don't waste my time on that kind of energy. I did as a youngster, and that took a toll in my early career. I let emotion get involved, and now I'm like, that's cool. There's a guy that came up to me at the Staples Center one year. I'm a Celtics fan, and I'm not sorry about it. We're in LA, you know, the Atlanta Lakers or whatever, and it was Christmas time every year. Christmas, you know, the Lakers versus Celtics. So I was there. Hat says Ortiz on the back, Celtics, and then my jersey Celtics, and just my thing. And then a guy comes up to me, shoves me from the back, boom, and I almost fell, and I go, whoa, dude, relax, man. And he goes, F you, mother. That's why they knock you the out, this and that. And I just looked at him like, whoa. His buddy runs up, I'm so sorry, champ. Victor, so sorry, brother. Excuse my friend. And I said, no, it's fine, man. It's okay. And he shakes my hand, and then his boy comes back, and he shakes my hand, and he pulls me forward, and he goes, so why do you suck so bad? And I just, as he's grabbing my arm, I just go, not as much as you, but I'm trying to figure it out, sir. You have a good one, okay? But it's one of those situations, you know?
So you continue fighting. You fought Lamont Peterson, which ended up being a draw, although a lot of people said you won it.
He's one of my good friends.
And then in 2011, WBC welterweight title, Andre Berto.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And you were broke at the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, now remind you, let's step back a little bit and then forward, right? So I took this fight on with Maidana broken, which I did not have to do that. But I was pressured and told by De La Hoya, I have to. So they shoot me up against Sambo, I lose, whatever, and I go, I want the rematch. After my surgery, I want the rematch. He said, Victor, but that's just not how it works. That's not how it works. It's just, it's business, it's business. It's not business. That's not cool. I didn't have to put my titles on the line. I didn't have to fight this guy. But because you told me I had to, I did. I at least deserve the rematch, bro. No. It's business, it's business. Wow. So now I'm begging for the rematch and they're laughing at me. So now I come back to Golden Boy offices on my Red Bull van. Sorry guys, but I left my phone that had GPS in one of the refrigerators in Thousand Oaks, California, so I can go downtown Ventura in my van, in my Red Bull uniform. And I said, man, I talked to Oscar. No, you can't come in. You can't come in. Oscar's busy. Well, that's too bad. I'm going to make myself in. Excuse me. No, you can't go back there. I go, Oscar, what's up, bro? How's it going? Oh, Victor, how's it going, Victor? And I'm like, that's not too bad. Hey, man, I want that rematch. Well, Victor, we talked about this already. It's not going to happen. And I go, I want Andre Berto at 147 pounds. I know he's the best pound for pound behind Floyd. I don't care. But after I beat him, I want Floyd. Now they made a mockery of me. They sat down and laughed at me. All the Golden Boy. Victor, that's called a career ender. I go, what I tell myself between my ears is what you do. Send me the contract. Let me sign it. I'm going to beat this guy. Not a big deal. Well, 3 weeks of that training camp, I'm working my butt off. 2 jobs, going to college. I got custody of my brother. Working. Not a big deal. I don't have a social time. I don't go out. I don't do nothing. Work, sleep, get up, train, do it all over again every single day. School, you name it. The whole training camp goes by. Nobody stopped by. There's one reporter, and I love that guy. Hello. He's a good person. He always stops by, always checks on me. Vic, how you doing, baby? Not too bad, brother. Thank you for coming by, X, Y, and Z. One reporter. I get to the arena, and the percentage, I'm not a bettor. I don't know nothing about betting, but I can assume that when the points are way up on someone, I think it's got to mean something, because mine was like, I was shot. Mine, 0 chances to win. And then what hurt my feeling, the one feeling that I have, they managed to hurt, which was Lou Duba comes up with his wife, says to me, I believe it was Lou Duba. I just gotta remember his name. I think it is. Hey, babe, Victor, hey, come here, Victor. I want to introduce you to somebody. Yeah, absolutely. Babe, this is a tomato can that we hired to get knocked out tomorrow night.
Wow.
I looked at the woman, the lady. I looked at Mr. Lou Duba and I said, excuse me for 1 second. Ma'am, with all due respect, please excuse my language. But this gentleman just done up a beautiful career. A beautiful record at that. I'll see you tomorrow. Excuse me. So I went to my room, rested up, came back into the ring, and 12 rounds later, the new WBC welterweight champion of the world, fight of the year. Man, it was crazy.
Yeah, that was called the fight of the year. You end up winning the WBC welterweight title.
Yes, sir.
That was the first time you won an actual title.
Actual title, yes, sir.
You're now a world champion.
Mm-hmm.
There was supposed to be a rematch, but then Berto ruptured his bicep in training. Then it got postponed, and then he failed a drug test, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But you said that was the hardest you ever got hit.
Heck yeah, man. Berto hits hard. I told him too when we rematched in 18, and it started the same. I dropped him, boop boop. He goes down. Of course, my ego gets in the way, and whatever, you know. So I go to attack. Boom! He clips his uppercut. Boom! He clips me. I go down. I just remember I go, oh! I'm on my knees and on my fours, and I looked at Berto and I go, man down! Berto, man down! So they go, 3! I'm trying to get up. 4! I'm like, I get up finally. My legs are not under me. Berto comes at me, and I'm not the guy that holds you, so I'm, all right, me or you, I'm, boom, I get clipped again. Boom, I get clipped again. Bang, I go down. I go, 3, 4. I'm trying to get up, but man, it's over, you know. I go up to Berto and I go, come here, Berto. Man, stop talking to me, man. You talk too much, Vic. I go, come here. Stop. Come here, bro. He goes, Vic, man, get away from me, Vic. I don't want to talk to you, Vic. Just get away from me, Vic. I go, come here, dog. Come here. So I get up to him, goes, what the hell you want, Vic? What do you want? You're just still mad because I whooped you the first time, huh? Man, see what I'm saying, man? Get away from me, Vic. Get away from me, man. What's wrong with you? I go, there's a lot wrong with me, bro. Nah, I give him his props. Hey, bro, great fight, man. And yeah, it is what it is, you know?
Well, after winning the welterweight title, you now get a fight with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
At the time, what was his record?
I have no idea.
But it was, what, 30-something-0?
Probably 30-0, no?
30-0?
Maybe.
So, coming into this fight, this is the biggest fight you've ever had in your life.
Uh-huh.
Leading up to it, did you feel like you kind of fanned out a little bit? Like, oh my gosh, Floyd Mayweather,
no,
this icon.
No.
No?
No. No. I've never seen him like that. I remember it was, I don't remember what year it was. He fought Clottey. Floyd Mayweather fought Clottey. And I told Mr. Garcia, Eduardo Garcia, and Robert Garcia in their living room, I said, I'm going to dethrone that guy. They laughed at me. Victor, not even a pro yet. I go, no, I'm telling you. But I meant it. And this was going to go down that way. I told him at the press conference, we're not going 12 rounds. You're going to get the decision because it's Vegas. You run Vegas. I said, I'm going to cut it short like Chavez did to your uncle, Roger Mayweather, and then Roger came attacked me. I go, okay, hey, relax. I'm just speaking facts, bro. Chill. They didn't like that. So then I just told Mayweather, hey, but we're not going a distance. We're not going 12. And it was going that way. what I said in my head, it was going that way. But hey, man, mistakes of a rookie took place. You know, he throws a hook where the hook comes in. He doesn't land the hook, but he lands the elbow. And I'm left-handed, so it's my leading eye. So he closed my eye. And I kept telling the ref, elbows. Keep fighting Ortiz. Keep fighting Ortiz. Ref, elbows. Hey, mother. Keep it clean. Floyd, it's boxing, baby. No, it's not. So, anyways, in that time period, in that little heated moment in the 4th round, I had told my corner over and over again, me está lastimando, he's hurting my eye. It's closed. It was already shut, so I was seeing double out of one eye. It was weird. It was really weird. And then it went black, just black. So I thought I lost my vision. So now I'm a little frustrated, but more than anything, I'm a little scared. I thought I went blind. As I'm sitting there, tell the referee, I've been telling him this is the 1st round. And then right before seconds out, mouthpiece in, I put my mouthpiece in. Hey, tell him again and again, this and that. He goes, the last thing I heard was, headbutt him. If worse, give him a headbutt. Take a point. It is what it is.
So your corner told you to headbutt.
Yeah, and I said, headbutt? What? So then that was the last thing I heard. Headbutt, cool. Mouthpiece in. And then I have him against the ropes, and this isn't working for him because I don't work like the right-hander. I'm shooting from over here, that side. So he can't get away from me. And he does it again. And in that moment of time, I just headbutt. I don't know how to headbutt. Looked like a ram. You know? So anyways, I felt completely disgusted within myself, which is a rookie mistake. I felt I shouldn't have done that. I felt, come on, dude, you have over 161 fights as an amateur. You've never done nothing like this in your life. You've never done anything foul in your career. And why do you do it right now? I felt shameful of myself. I gave him a kiss. I'm sorry, Floyd, but you're hurting me, bro. Chill. Hey, man, chill, dude. Come on, bro. So now I'm like, ref. Referee's over there. Ref. Boom. Hey, mother, we're even. We're even, you piece of ref. Boom, I go down. And I just remember my brain and my legs. From my brain to my legs, there was no connection.
Okay, so I just want to recap this a little bit. So the first 3 rounds, he wins those rounds. You don't think so?
No.
Okay. I mean, on the points, though, they say that he won those first 3 rounds.
You go watch the video, turn off the sound. Turn off the sound because manipulation goes a long way. Manipulation by a table full of rejects that don't know what they're talking about definitely will give you a whole different perspective. I can go and say on Dancing with the Stars, oh my gosh, look at Victor Ortiz. He is dancing so great. And I got 2 left feet. And mind you, this is an example. But the ear is listening to something completely different to what's actually taking place. So you are now taking the judgment of rejects that don't know what they're talking about. They think they do. They never had a pair of boxing gloves in their lives on before. If they have, questionable. At the end of the day, I did not lose any rounds. You go look at that fight again, turn off sound, and you'll see exactly what took place.
Right. Well, you were definitely getting punches in.
Yeah.
You heard him a few times. What was it in the first 3 rounds that you found different about Mayweather than all the other fighters?
In the third round, if you look at it correctly and right again, turn off sound again, I did one of the biggest things that no boxer would ever do, but I'm daring as can be and crazy as can be sometimes. I put my hands down in front of him. Come on, Floyd. I want to see what you got. Boom. Here's with a straight right. Come on, baby. I know you hit harder than that. But twice, straight rights. Come on, dog. Come on, man. I know you hit harder than that. You can't crack no egg like that. Boom. Come on, homie. I know you hit harder than that. Come on, champ or chump, whatever you call yourself. Boom. That's what I got. Thought. You ain't got. I'm coming. So I started coming. And look at it went from to, like, I had no respect for his power. I had no respect for anything he had coming toward me, so.
Okay, but then in the 4th round, like you said, you headbutted him.
Yeah.
They take off a point.
Yeah.
You kind of hug him afterwards. I think you like kissed him afterwards.
Yeah, I gave him a hug and a kiss.
I think the kiss probably pissed him off more than anything. I don't think anyone's ever kissed Floyd Mayweather in the ring before.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm not a bad person, you know. I think that's where it showed. My heart caught up to me, man. and I paid for it.
Right. So then they put you in the center of the ring, and then you hug him again. And you had your hands down.
The ref never said box. The ref says box, let's box.
So you thought that you guys weren't actually boxing yet?
Oh, he didn't say box. You didn't have to say time or box. You know, none of that took place.
Okay. And he hits you with a two-piece.
Now, if it would have been me hitting him with a two-piece during a break, best believe I'd be hearing about it. And you best believe after that fight, I got sued too. I had to go against Floyd in the court of law after that fight.
For what?
He sued me for headbutting him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So your hands were dropped. He hits you with a two-piece and knocks you out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's boos all throughout the arena.
Yeah.
Everyone was upset. So Larry Merchant does a post-fight interview with Floyd.
Yeah.
And during the interview, you actually walk up to him and hug him, which I thought was, I don't know, a little weird because he kind of sucker punched you in a way.
Not a bad person, man. I think, you know, ultimately after everything was said and done, it was over. Like what? You're going to get mad and you're going to take that home with you?
True.
For what, you know? You know, throughout the 13 years since that fight took place, that's the first thing people bring up. They talk about, you know, man, if you could have, they bring it up like it was just like last week.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Larry Merchant is interviewing him, and then Floyd, you know, and Merchant is kind of poking at him, saying that it was a dirty hit and everything else like that. And Floyd's like, you know, if you want a rematch, you can get a rematch, which never happens, of course. But Larry Merchant is still poking at him, saying, well, yes, technically you won, and, you know, you're supposed to protect yourself at all times, but it was kind of unsportsmanlike. And then, you know, Floyd said, HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. And Larry said, I wish I was 50 years younger. I would kick your ass. This was really comedy in the boxing world at this point. You know, and of course, later on, Larry Merchant said, you know, even 50 years ago, I would have been able to kick his ass. You know, I was just trolling, basically, at that point. And ultimately, the rematch never happened. The fight got 1.2 million buys on pay-per-view and generated over $78 million in revenue. How much did you get paid to do that fight?
$3 million.
$3 million, which is the biggest payday you ever got, but still a small percentage of.
Just what I know now that I did not know then, that's where I guess in a sense the experience counts, you know. Having people that you actually trust and you can actually really depend on. Because the people I had in my corner was not even family, you know. Nope. Just, no, I've learned a lot. We won't go down that road anymore.
Why was there no rematch? Because that seemed like a perfect setup for a rematch.
When you're scared, you're scared.
So you think he was scared of you?
I ain't got nothing to lose. Got nothing to lose. Got the world to gain, nothing to lose. When you hit hard with your right and your left, and you're left-handed, you're bigger, you're younger, that's scary.
And you were represented by Golden Boy at that
the time,
point?
yes, sir.
Okay. What did you ultimately, you know, because I feel like you kind of have taken, you know, a few shots at De La Hoya throughout this interview.
No, I mean, hey, you know, at the end of the day, I'll always have my respects of the guy that I knew once upon a time. And I don't think that respect is reciprocated. Because I've always had nothing but love and admiration, and especially when it comes to the purses and whatnot. Like, here, dude, just grab some gum, just chew it up, you're good. Oh, thank you. Okay. And at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not upset with them. I'm not mad. I saw him at playing golf at George Lopez's last tournament. He talked to me. He says, Victor, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek. The owners of the Dodgers, the owner of the one of the Lakers big people, big, huge people. They're like, what was that about? And I said, I don't know, man. All I said to him was, look, bro, you're a legend, bro. You're always going to be Oscar de la Hoya. He said, don't worry about that. Let's leave it where it needs to be. Water under the bridge, brother.
When the pictures came out of De La Hoya and the drag and the high heels and the wig.
You could tell he works out, huh? Sorry, Oscar.
What'd you think of those pictures?
Oh, man.
Do you have a field day?
You know what? I was... to be honest with you, they were like, Vic, watch him. We got to go. And I said, no, I got to go home. They go, Vic, please watch him. And I said, no, I got to go home, dude. I got to go to work. What do you mean you got to go to work? I go, I'm not you guys. You guys have millions and millions and millions. No, I have taxes. I have, still in my work mindset and whatnot. So I went home. Within a week or two later, all those photos popped up and I go, that is not my fault, guys. I went home. I went home. No.
Well, in 2012, you fought Josecito Lopez.
Yeah, man, another good guy. I just saw him playing golf with us. We're all playing golf, 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago.
So originally it was supposed to be Andre Berto, right? Yeah. But then there was the failed drug test.
Yep.
So you lost in the 10th round when you're
in the ninth round.
The ninth round, sorry. Yeah. Well, your jaw got broken.
My jaw got broken in the 4th round. I kept asking him to stop the fight in the 4th round. When I came back to sit down, they said, ¿Por qué traes? There's nothing wrong with you. I was like, my jaw's broken. Stop the fight. But when I fight, I don't show pain. There's nothing wrong with you. I was like, my jaw's broken. Stop the fight. There's nothing wrong with you. Come on, look, you're beating him. I go, my jaw's broken. Nope, seconds out, mouthpiece in. Boom. I go, oh my goodness. So now I come in. If you go watch the fight again, this thumb under. So I'm holding my jaw. Boom, boom. I'm winning the whole fight. In the 9th round, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, stop the fight. 8th, stop the fight. 9th, please stop the fight. Second time I present, So I'm holding it. I make him wobble. Boom, boom, boom. He's wobbling. So I go, my jaw drops. Boom, I land. He lands. The bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. I go, ref, stop the fight. Please, I gotta go to the hospital. He goes, you're winning the fight. I go, I don't want the belt. I want to go to the hospital, please. I gotta go to the hospital. Well, come to find out, there was a blood clot in my left leg, a blood clot in my lung, and then shattered. So then I had 2 metal plates, 12 screws, wired shut. But nobody believed me it was broken. Not till Wednesday morning.
Right, because once again, you get the whole, he quit the fight again.
Yeah, so
and you got to hear that all over again.
Yeah, so I was in the Saturday night hospital, Sunday by myself, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Vic, you forgot to pay us. What? Where you been? Remember I said in the 4th round my jaw broke? Yeah, there was nothing wrong with you. Yeah. Where are you? Well, you guys left me in the locker room by myself. I had my limo driver try to take me to the hospital, but I couldn't do that because it goes against protocol of Staples Center. So they had to take me in an ambulance. I didn't get on the gurney. They were upset because I said, get your hands off me. I didn't come in the gurney. I'm not leaving in the gurney. So I put my suit on. I got in the back of the ambulance. And I've been in the hospital since. Why? Oh, man. Bye. Golden Boy, everybody there just like, they didn't think nothing was wrong with me. Then I got my metal plates and everything, and I wake up to people looking at me, and I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Oh, yeah, I lied, right? Check this out. Pulled it back. And like, oh, my God. I was like, yeah, right? Ha. 12 screws, wire shut, and 2 metal plates. But I'm not broken. They're like, I was like, yeah, guys. Anyways, I'm going to put more morphine in my system right now, so you guys have something to say, or I'm going to go to sleep. They're like, no, can we talk? No, we can't.
Yeah. Then by 2013, you kind of shifted into Hollywood a little bit.
Well, what happens there is I started acting, and I went into the Hollywood vibe, Hollywood scene, because I had been begging for the Floyd Mayweather rematch for years now, couple, and nothing. And they offered me to fight on the undercard of Canelo versus Floyd. By this point in time, mind you, as I was pretty upset, because it's like, you're joking. Like, it was either me or Canelo or my rematch. But now you're trying to make me the co-main event. What's going on there, Oscar? Well, Victor, it's just boxing. It's boxing. No, it's not. It's not boxing, dude. That's messed up. By this point in time, my jaw had, been healing now, and they find me to do Dancing with the Stars. So next thing you know, I end up on Dancing with the Stars, and then I get a phone call. Hey, I talked to Victor. Who's this? This Sylvester Stallone. I go, who the Sylvester Stallone? Oh, I go, what?
Rocky?
I go, you sound like, wait a minute. Hey, dude, seriously? Nah, bro, look, don't be calling this phone number if you're gonna be messing with me. Don't be doing that shit. Boom, I hang up. Calls you back. Victor, just give me a second. Just give me a minute, I just want to talk to you, of one of my movies. And I go, who is this? Sylvester Stallone, Sly. And I go, who's Sylvester Stallone? I know Rocky. I know Rambo. I don't know who Sylvester Stallone is. So I go, you sound like Rocky for some reason. He goes, oh, no, Rocky, he's a character. I go, you know what, dog? Don't be playing like that with me, man. Bye. I hang up again. Hey. Calls me the third time. Victor, listen, I got your phone number from, Gersh, your agency. And I go, oh, my goodness. Now he's dropping names that I know. And I go, wait a minute. So I'm Googling who is Sylvester Stallone. You best believe I'm Googling. You don't have to tell me who Rocky is, but you got to tell me who Sylvester Stallone is, Yeah. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And I go, oh, Rocky, I'm so sorry. I hung up on you, man. I apologize, bro. It's not every day that Rocky calls me, bro. I'm so sorry. He goes, oh, no, Rocky's just the character, Victor, I go, no, I'm so sorry, man. Please don't tell my agency that, I hung up on you a few times. I am so sorry. Dang. Wow. What's up, Rocky? He goes, I'm not Rocky, I'm just Sly. I'm like, my bad, man. I'm Sly or whatever. I never heard his name before. So now, I've heard the name throughout the years, yes, but I didn't know it was Rocky. So now I'm just like, oh my, wow, son. My wife, she watches the TV show Dancing with the Stars, and she told me to watch you. So, here we are, Victor. I want to meet up with you next week. And I go, dude, I'm going to meet Rocky Balboa. Yes. So that's how that venture started. Well, here's the thing. They wanted me to push me to be the co-main event for Floyd and Canelo. I said no. By this point in time, I got offered a movie role by Sylvester Stallone.
Expendables 3.
Yep. Expendables 3. So then that's how that took place. I ended up doing a movie. I became an actor in the Hollywood scene. And man, it's just blessing on blessings, But that ruined a lot of, to me, I don't call it ruining, I guess. It's just, it really bothered people in the boxing world. Promoters, particularly management. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not going to fight forever, man. You know?
Well, yeah, you were also in Southpaw.
Yeah.
With Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
What'd you think of him in Roadhouse 2?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
He got ripped up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the pictures.
He gets solid, yeah.
It was insane how ripped he looked.
Yeah.
And, you know, you were also in Ray Donovan for 2 episodes. You kind of had a
Ray
run.
Donovan, Hawaii Five-0, Life in Pieces. And I've had a lot of some indie films too. So I think I have around 16 other movies or something like that. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not done fighting, man. Like people are always like, oh, Vic, man, you know, why keep on, you know, torturing your body and yourself? And I'm like, dude, torturing? My whole life's been a torture chamber, man.
Well, in 2015, you beat up a guy at a Kenny Chesney concert.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you?
Heck no.
You got charged for it.
My brother did.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy hit my brother first. 6'6", I think. 6'7". He hit my brother. Boom. My brother used to box. My brother's 6'3", and my brother walks around 240, 45 pounds. He's solid too. So that guy hit my brother. My brother went counters. Boom. The guy drops. When he drops, all I did was I ran up. I put my foot on his face and I said, "You get up, you mother. I'm next." That's it.
Okay. Because you pled guilty.
No, I did not.
No, you did not?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so this is...
No, I did not plead guilty.
Because that's what TMZ reported, that you pled guilty and got 3 years probation. And
nah.
He also said that he sued you.
He did sue me.
How much you have to cough up?
I think almost 400,000.
You paid 400,000
because of my brother's mess up.
Damn.
That wasn't me, bro.
Okay.
But I could tell you right now that if I knew I was gonna get charged for something I didn't do, I would have gladly have, dude. I would have teed off on this vato, dude, and I would have probably stomped on his face like that. Might as well. I was already there, you know. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and I'm happy that it happened how it happened because I got to learn a lot, man. Some of those who are even close to you sometimes are not who they say they are, you know. So it's okay. I paid for everything. I ended up doing time at this place in Sun Valley, I think. Sun Valley up here. And that's where we became pretty much cellies with the Chris Brown and Soulja Boy.
What do you mean?
We were in jail together.
You, Chris Brown, and Soulja Boy were all locked up at the same time.
Yo,
this is when what, Chris Brown, the Rihanna thing?
I don't know what he was going through. I didn't even ask him. I was like, "That's cool, dog."
So we're all under the same Chris Brown. Any stories from that?
It was actually funny because they would always put us in the laundry together.
Okay.
So we'd be in the laundry together, and then I'll be like, "Oh, Soulja Boy, Superman." Now he'll be like, "Man, you're just stupid, man. You're stupid." I'm like, "What? I'm just trying to make time go 5. Come on, bro." And they'll be like, "Vic, Chris, Soulja Boy, get over here right now." One of the, I won't say names either, I won't get nobody in trouble, but I'll be like, "Get in here right now." And I'm like, oh man, so I'll be thinking we're all getting in trouble. All the inmates are like, ooh, I'm like, oh man. So we'd go in there and have a whole buffet full of any kind of food you wanted for like lunch and stuff. So we go back on the outside with all the public to be like, "Yo, what happened, man?" I'm like, "Man, it was bad, you know. Got yelled at, you know." We just couldn't tell, so.
Well, 2018.
Yep.
You get charged with 3 counts of felony sexual assault.
Yeah, man, that was nasty. That was horrible. The Me Too movement.
Yeah. You were facing 24 years.
26.
26 years. The charges were dropped, though, 2 years later.
3.
3 years later.
3 years and some change.
Can you talk about what happened?
Absolutely. At this point in time, I usually like to kind of play around about the situation, but this isn't not while on here, right? So this whole situation, it was a planned situation. I have 2 sons by a woman. And they're friends. A coach that I made. He trains her. They thought wrong when they thought that they could put me behind bars to take my empire. So it was all a whole setup, and then just how well connected everybody was over there. It's disgusting. I'm still fine for custody of my children, but here's the thing. In order to rape somebody, you have to have sex with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I never had sex with her. If anything, you raped me. Grabbing my stuff. All in all, they had semen samples that were collected from her. Right on. They weren't mine. And the DAs from Ventura hid that for 3.5 years. Hid it.
Wow.
By this point in time, they drained me from all my monies. 100,000 here, 400,000 there, 600,000 with this and that. They told me, well, in order for us to completely let you go, she wants $1.7 million. That's too damn bad. I didn't do nothing like that.
Was she suing you civilly as well?
Yeah, she tried everything.
Tried everything.
She tried everything. And you know what? That was probably the best thing that I went through, because that's where I really found God, Jesus. And I don't think if it were for things like that, I would have ever came to light with my Father in heaven. So I'm okay with it. Got to learn a lot of things. I got to depict people from my life. We love you. Oh, we're here for you. Your family. To just destroying me, defaming me. And it was ugly, but it was beautiful.
So the charges got dropped. The civil lawsuit got dropped.
Everything.
And you walked away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I hate about situations like this.
I wanted to sue that person.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like I said, these people had took me for all my money already. So even if I wouldn't have got anything, which I'm pretty sure she don't have a pot to piss in.
That's the problem. A person can sue you if you have money, but then once it gets thrown out, you try to sue them back. There's no money to sue for.
And that's the thing.
I've gone through the same thing.
For me personally, it wasn't even about that anymore. It was just like, if I would have sued in return, even if she didn't have money, she'll owe me for the rest of her life, or for a long portion. That's what I was thinking, but you know, God had other plans. I moved on. I got a new circle of actual people who care about me and I care for. And they say family is everything, and that's a lie to me. I've grown up to make my own family. Now I could actually say I have Royal Malachi, Ezekiel, and my gal. Other than that, I have a really tight hand on people, around people. I respect everybody, but I'm just like, oh, what's up, dude? Yeah. All right, see you later. Bye. You know?
Well, August 24th, you're fighting Damian Correa.
Yep.
Which is the undercard of Mayweather and John Gotti III.
Yes, sir.
Is it annoying to fight on a Mayweather undercard?
No. You know what?
Considering you never got your rematch?
That's the thing.
And you turned it down. Remember, you turned it down during the Canelo era.
Well, that's the thing, though. This particular fight was the rematch for Floyd and myself. We both signed contracts. But the moment he found out, I got to Mexico City, Coach Aaron and I, we arrived. Everything was ready.
Wait. So you're saying that this was going to be the rematch?
Yes.
Originally?
Originally.
But Floyd's essentially retired. It would be an exhibition. It would still
be
an exhibition, fight, obviously.
It's an exhibition.
Because the John Gotti, the third fight, is exhibition.
Yeah, but it was going to be an exhibition regardess.
But still, it would have been your chance to get back in the ring.
That's where it gets scary. I'm telling you.
Right. Because honestly, if you look at it from a fan's point of view like me, I would much rather see you fight than John Gotti III.
Yeah.
In fact, when John Gotti III originally fought, I was like, why is Floyd fighting this guy? I mean, I know he's got the Gotti name, but outside of that, It's not like he's this accomplished fighter.
It's interesting because we signed contracts. My side, his side signed contracts. We ended up in Mexico City. I gave up my week with my kids to go to this promotion in Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. I arrived. They were unaware that the Mexican that he's fighting in Mexico is indeed Victor Ortiz. To them, he's not Mexican, right? Because I'm not from there. But that's how we got there. Next thing you know, that everyone's making phone calls and, oh, we didn't say Victor Ortiz. And, oh, man, we ended up, my team and I came home. We getting sued and this and that. And I'm like, well, I didn't do nothing. I literally did what the contract specified. Why am I being sued? So now I'm like, you know what? Whatever, dude. So they said, nobody wants to watch John Gotti III and Floyd Mayweather. I said, okay. Why is that my fault? They said, well, let's make it worth it, and let's make you the co-main event. I said, oh, cool. Right on. So that's where we're at now. Coach and I, we've been putting in work every day for the co-main event versus Korea. I know he's no walk in the park, but neither am I. And we're ready.
Okay, now in your upcoming fight, you actually have a few sponsors.
I do.
Who are they?
So I have Nappy Rose, Riot Energy, and mentalhealthcards.com. So check it out, guys.
Okay. Well, you're 37 years old right now?
Well, 21 every year, but yeah, they say that.
I mean, after this fight, win or lose?
No, we're winning.
Okay. So after you win this fight,
yes, sir.
Are you going to continue fighting?
Yeah.
Or is there an age where you're like, okay,
there is an age. There's definitely an age, but at this point in time, my body still feels good, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I believe that acting in those years that I was acting and stuff, it helped me. It gave me a break from my head, you know, just not getting hit all the time, and I don't know, just riding my bikes, going doing my triathlons, marathons, just enjoying some life, you know, a little bit, you know. It's just living life, really. So I've always been this, boom, back against the wall, ring, gym, you know, nothing outside of that. And I expanded my horizons a little bit.
Well, you train with Logan Paul.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Logan.
And you actually said you wanted to fight Logan at one point.
Yeah, I would.
But Logan's bigger?
Problem. Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Nah.
I mean, well, Logan fought Mayweather.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Someone like, I know that a lot of people praise him for going, was it 6 rounds? 6 rounds with Floyd?
Yeah,
whatever.
Something like that.
It's a whole different animal. It's a different game. The way I fight is very different from a Floyd Mayweather type, you know? And I hit hard. And yes, they're heavyweights or whatever you may call them. I hit like a heavyweight, so it don't matter. Would I like to step in the ring with Logan? Absolutely. Or his brother Jake? No problem. I just know that I'm a lot for some of those boys to handle.
Well, Jake Paul was originally supposed to fight Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
30-year age gap between the two. The fight was postponed until November 15th. Do you think that's going to happen?
You know what? I don't know. I love Mike Tyson, though.
But he's pushing 60 right now.
I know.
Yeah. I actually interviewed him and at his gym.
Yeah.
Well, Zab Judah did the main interview, and I came in
Zab,
for...
Yeah,
that's my man. Mike got a little mad at me during the course of the interview.
Why? I don't like how you're talking to me right now. No?
What had happened was I asked him, because during his heyday, he hung out with a lot of street guys, right? You know, a lot of drug dealers and gangsters and stuff like that. So I asked him, I said, well, Mike, you were worth hundreds of millions of dollars at the time. What was your attraction to hanging out with these street guys? He's like, what do you mean attraction?
Oh.
So I'm sitting here and I'm actually in a ring. I'm at his gym in the ring. So I'm sitting in the ring with Tyson, and he thinks I just called him gay, basically, which I didn't. Right? So now I got to talk my way out of this situation. My security's way over there. He wouldn't get to me in time if Tyson lunged at me, right? So I'm like, well, no, Mike, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying that, you know, you hung out with these guys and, you know, you guys were close and, you know, you spoke highly of Von Zip. And he's like, so what, you think I like hanging out with guys like this? And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. And finally, he kind of just got it. And then we got back to the interview. Here you are, this multimillionaire. And, you know, it seems like you've always been attracted to the guys that are still in the streets to a certain degree. Do you think that's a fair statement?
You think I'm attracted to them?
Well, not attracted to them, but I mean, you like having them around. You're friends with them and you maintain
I like
this.
having them around?
I'm just asking.
You think I'm friends? What do you think? You think I like having them around?
I don't know. You just spoke nicely about Zip, so I just thought.
Yeah, you know who these guys are? When you talk, what do you say about me? I'm this big, whatever I am, right? But know who those guys are? Those are the guys that when I'm, whoever I am is a nobody, I'm here, those are the guys that live in the same building with me. They give my mother salt or sugar if they need, or milk. They're the same guys.
But it was definitely a scary moment.
Of course.
For me.
It's Mike.
It's still Mike Tyson, the scariest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was an interesting moment. It ended up being cool. It ended up being, you know, a cool moment for VladTV, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I told you before the interview, I had Bill Haney on my show.
Yeah.
And this was right after the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight, which he lost. But then afterwards, you know, the drug test came back where they threw it out. But then Ryan Garcia went on this whole racist rant.
I heard about that.
Yeah. He said, I hate N-words.
I don't really keep up to media like that and stuff. It's ugly, man.
It is. It is. He said, I'm anti-black. Bring George Floyd back to life so I can kill that N-word again.
What?
Oh, yeah. It was really ugly.
That's nasty.
And right afterwards, he was expelled by the WBC.
That's why he was expelled?
Yeah, over that.
Well, I just saw it on a post.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, if you take a step back,
yeah,
right, as someone who is, you know, Mexican heritage, who fought Floyd Mayweather during his, you know, his prime.
Yeah.
So you got the Mexican fighter and the black fighter. You know, a lot of us, when we look at this situation, it's like these fights are racially charged.
It's ugly.
You see what I'm saying?
Ugly.
I'm not saying that you're racist or Mayweather's racist, but the fans, some of them really are.
Oh, it's ugly, bro.
So can you sort of comprehend, you know, when you look at this, you know, the racial aspect of these fights?
Yeah.
You know, everyone's rooting for the Mexican guy to beat up the black guy, and everyone wants the black guy to beat up the Mexican guy.
I realistically don't like it. There was one year where the last fight with Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez, I was with Manny. Manny's my boy.
Yeah.
We were both trained by Freddie Roach. And man, I got there because I was in training camp with my boy Manny, getting him ready, this and that. And of course, Juan Manuel Marquez, he's my friend too. But this isn't a racial thing for me. It's a team thing. And it's boxing. But no, man. Whew. People were like, F you, mother, you know, you're with the Filipino and the Mexican. I'm just like, okay. And then my boy, our boy, you know, we're all boys, but my boy Manny got slept, you know, and they're like, yeah, see that? I'm just like, dang, I did see that. But man, it's nasty.
Yeah. They're talking about a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. Do you think that's going to happen?
I think Tank is dangerous.
Yeah, I interviewed Tank early on, man.
Yeah,
they were calling him the next Mike Tyson back then.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's
I believe it.
Who would you give it to?
He's one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites.
So you think that he's going to...
Oh, yeah.
He's going to beat Shakur. A lot of people feel that Canelo's ducking David...
Benavides.
Yeah. Do you agree?
I don't disagree.
How come you never fought Canelo?
Man, De La Hoya protected him.
Ah.
09. We were supposed to. 08 and 09. And Victor, just, you know, it doesn't make sense for business. So what? Let me defeat him real quick. We all know here, Golden Boy. We all know you're gonna beat him. You're gonna beat him easy. But we gotta down the line. Down the line. I'm like, come on, bro. Seriously. So yeah, that didn't take place. But hey, he's done well for himself. Good for him.
Yeah, I remember watching that first fight with him and Mayweather. And Mayweather definitely won that fight.
Oh, he schooled him.
Yeah, he ran into like the the corner and everything.
Yeah.
But I felt like he got a lot better as time went on.
Yeah, he did.
Why do you think there was no rematch with Canelo and Mayweather?
I don't know. I don't know, bro.
You know, if you think about it, it would have been a hell of a match.
Yeah.
I almost think Canelo could have given him his first loss.
No? Wishful thinking.
I mean, was Mayweather the best fighter? Was Mayweather the best fighter that you ever got in the ring with?
No.
Really?
No. The best fighter was Andre Berto, hands down.
Because of how hard he hits.
Nah, it's just he's got will, he's got power, he don't care. He's the whole package. He don't duck, he don't dodge, he just come on.
Right. Well, I remember, like, for example, when Conor McGregor lost to Mayweather.
Oh, that's a
and he said, you know, the one thing about Mayweather is that he remains calm. He doesn't get flustered. He maintains his composure the whole time, and that's what really impressed him. Is that what you saw in the ring with him also?
No. He wasn't calm with me.
Huh. Okay.
No. But then again, you got to remember, Conor McGregor, UFC. Mayweather, boxing.
Yeah.
It'd be like a tennis player versus a ping pong player. You both have rackets. You both have a court.
Oh, yeah.
Just same concept, different sport, you know? But you have a best on that. You have a best on this. You can't, it doesn't matter, you know?
I mean, throw Mayweather in an octagon.
Exactly.
It'll be a slaughter.
Yes, sir. Exactly, yeah.
Victor, man, I appreciate you coming in. I've been a fan for a while.
Oh, thank you.
And I really wish there was a rematch.
No, you know what? It's okay.
You know, but you still done. I mean, you came from the worst possible situation. No parents.
It's
okay.
okay.
I interview a lot of people in single family homes. Their mom raised them, dad wasn't around, but very rarely do I talk to someone whose both parents are not there.
Yeah.
And that's really what happened to you. And I've never talked to anyone whose mom just flat out abandoned them.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
So I know there was a lot of demons that you had to get over.
There's
over
a lot.
The years.
You know what I believe what helped me a lot, especially now getting older, is just good people around me. I have a dear friend / coach, Aaron Curry, and his beautiful mother. They have that perfect relationship, which I've never had. But I get to learn off of that. My sons, Royal, Malachi, and Ezekiel, they got daddy, bro. They got mommy too.
Yeah.
But man, they got, ¿qué pasó, papá? What are you doing? Give me a kissy. All right, dad. You know,
you have your kids with you today. Yeah, you got to meet them.
They're my boys, man. They're my why. And why I fight so hard still? Right there. Those boys.
That's what it is, man. You know, wishing you all the best for your upcoming fight.
Thank you, my brother.
And, man, you know, see what else you got to offer in the future.
Oh, yeah,
I think you have a lot left in your story.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is.
All right,
Peace.
buddy.